Hello, my name is Michael Littman. I'm currently working at the Union of European Football Association. Apologize in advance if I periodically do look at my notes. I'm currently faced with a problem, and there's a redundancy of structure throughout UEFA, most importantly with someone running laterally with me in host broadcast, which is the TV production internally of the European Championship. A little history to the background, or a little background to the two divisions, is in 2008, my former position was headed up by a man named Dietmar. And Dietmar was promised HB within media services and operations. It didn't work out this way. Many months before the tournament, host broadcast brought in a man by the name of Bernie, and Bernie would look after live production for the tournament. These two didn't get along, obviously, as Dietmar was resentful that he no longer had the host broadcast, which generates 90% of the revenue for the tournament and is a huge responsibility. As tensions rose, Bernie had the budget to set up a parallel structure which created a redundancy of roles between the two groups, as media services and operations had the ability, or was responsible for the construction of all facilities and the operating of all facilities before and during the tournament, and also had the budget for all facilities, including TV. Bernie, knowing this and knowing that it was personal, constructed these parallel positions, even though they had no budget and were not allowed to speak to the venue. Everything they needed to be ciphered through media services and operations. This created a lot of problems on the ground during the tournament, as there was a redundancy of roles, and many people within Bernie's group didn't have enough to do and just were in the way. Moving it towards 2012, the structure needed to be adjusted. Ultimately, it was not. But as I got on the ground and I was new to the UEFA team, Bernie recognized that I was coming from a commercial background and the NFL, and I understood the importance of host broadcast. So, before the commencement of the tournament, about 3 years out, we clearly defined as a structure, as in organograms weren't changing, developed a RACI chart, clearly defining the responsible, accountable, consultant, and informed. And this chart would be used throughout the tournament. During our lead up, Bernie had a special interest in live production. And once he understood that I had his best interests in mind, he let the redundancy scale back. Not so much on paper, but on the ground. Post 2012 and debriefs came in. I would say we operated from 2008, we were operating at 10% in terms of efficiency. By 2012, I'd say we were at 75%. But moving forward, we knew something had to be done. The structure had to change. And this was something that Bernie and me needed to sit down and discuss. The issue being TV sat in one division, media services and operations sat in another division, and our directors would be hard-pressed to give up this responsibility. But the meetings have commenced. The cooperation has gone well. Bernie has agreed to move headcount to me, provided that I am the person in charge. And we are presenting to the CEO shortly.